Hey guys, my name is Alex and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a hot minute since I put anything on here, but I have decided that finally in 2018 I'm going to put some content back up here. First, sorry for all the background noise, I still haven't found a soundproof part of my apartment to film in that also has decent lighting. But I thought what better way to kick this channel back off again than with my reaction to the cast of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10. The queens were revealed on Thursday night, following the episode of All-Stars 3, and all I've really had to go off of is the Meet the Queens videos. So before any of you try to read me for having the wrong opinion, it's just my thoughts. I'm basing this just on what I'm hearing and seeing in these videos. Some of the New York queens I know, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that in there, but let's just get to it. So in alphabetical order, first up we have Aquaria. So Aquaria says that she's very high energy, but during her entire Meet the Queens videos, she literally was monotone. Like, it was like listening to Pearl on season 7. She came across kind of cocky, and to be honest, I was really put off by Aquaria. And I know that I'm probably gonna get called out for that because it looks like she has a pretty solid fan base already, but I did not like her. I think she's very pretty. I think that aesthetically she has all that going on there, but she just came across as an arrogant, one-note kind of queen in her Meet the Queens video. So I'm not really excited to see her, but hey, I could be proved wrong in the season. Next up we have Asia O'Hara. The first thing I wrote down was, what is that wig? I know the queen stacked wigs on wigs, and maybe this was supposed to be a look, but in the words of Raja and Raven on Fashion Photo Review, it's a boot. Like, the colors don't go. I was so distracted by that it was actually hard to follow a lot of what she was saying. It just wasn't a memorable interview. In fact, the only other thing I remember is that she's like, I may not be the best at something, but I'll deliver you results, and how are you gonna win with that kind of an attitude? Next up we have Blair St. Clair. She's 22 years old. She just comes across as kind of a young queen. Her makeup was nice, but she just has this kind of very high energy, almost kind of like childlike quality compared to some of the other girls. And I'm not sure that's gonna hold up. Like, is she gonna be able to handle the pressure of RuPaul's Drag Race, being such a young, potentially inexperienced queen? I don't know. She loves the 40s and 50s from what I remember, and she's from Indianapolis, so it's cool to see a queen come from a different part of the country. But other than that, I don't know how well she's gonna do. Next up, our second New York queen, Dusty Ray Bottoms. I have seen Dusty Ray perform once or twice here in the city, I think down at Pieces. And my first impression was kind of like an Acid Betty 2.0. There's a sort of a darkness about her, and she even calls that out, but I loved her makeup, and I think it was different than the other girls. Even though they all had to like follow the same theme, like she still found a way to make it really her own. It stood out, and I love that. And then some of these girls will say this, but I actually believe Dusty Ray when she says it, that she's edgy. Because again, if you look at the look here, I actually think that's a very edgy look for neon. So I'm excited to see what Dusty Ray does in season 10. Next up we have our returning elephant queen from season 9, Eureka O'Hara. So we've got two O'Haras this season. What I'll say is she's still got those hair lobes. Not my favorite wig, but she loves them, so it's gonna be her thing. I do like how aware she is though, that she has done this before, and she does have something to prove in that she didn't actually get eliminated. She did her thing. We've seen what she can do, so she has to turn out even harder. So I'm hopeful for her. We'll see what happens. Next up, we have Calorie Kardashian Williams. Was that the rest of her name? I'm gonna just say Calorie Kardashian because I actually forgot the last part of her name. I have to talk about her look first. What is that makeup on her nostrils? I know that it's probably to create the illusion of maybe like a smaller nose here, or something like that, I don't know. But it was very easy to spot, and like my eye went like right to it. You can just see like the makeup spots there, so wasn't like a huge fan of that. And also wasn't a huge fan of the I want to talk to your manager wig. And Kris Jenner type of hair maybe is what we're going for the whole Kardashian thing, but for neon and for like something exciting like that, I didn't like it. So not a huge fan of her look. And then the other thing I'm gonna say is that she's like, I want to be known for being a kind queen, and sometimes people think I'm a bitch. And usually when you hear a queen say that, like they actually are a bitch, and they're trying to like set the tone early that they're gonna be nice, but like then you find out that they're actually really rude. I have a feeling that she's not as nice as she wants us to think, but we'll see if she proves me wrong on this season. Next up we have Cameron Michaels. Oh my gosh, Cameron as a boy is very handsome. And I know that Cameron was wearing a lot of layers, but it's impressive that she looks so, feminine and fishy, if you will. as a queen, despite, you know, having the build that she doesn't have as a boy. So I like her. She called herself stupid and funny, and I actually believe her when she says that. She has a good sense of herself, and I'm really excited to see what she's going to do this season, so I am definitely rooting for Cameron. Next up, we have Mayhem Miller from LA, and I know that Mayhem is tied into a lot of the Drag Race girls, like families, if you will. My first thought was, did Kennedy Davenport sneak back onto another season of RuPaul's Drag Race? While there are some similarities, maybe like physically, that she has to Kennedy, I mean, I will say the makeup is different though. With that said, I like Mayhem. I like that she named herself after Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee's sex tape, the tattoo that he has. And I like that she's an experienced queen, so she really does know what it means to be a drag queen, and there's not going to be any questioning of, you know, who she is. I think she has a lot of potential, and we'll see what she turns out. So next up, we have Ms. Cracker from New York City. Where do I start? She is my front runner. I love her. I will also say that she is the queen here in New York that I've seen the most. I watch her at Industry Bar every Thursday for All Stars 3. She is Bob the Drag Queen's drag daughter. You can see that in her style of humor. She's very quick-witted. She's also a tiny queen. I have stood next to her when she's in heels, and I'm still solid 4 or 5 inches taller than her, but like, don't let her size fool you. She is a pint-sized powerhouse. I think that she is a very smart queen. That wit is definitely going to come in handy for challenges, and I think it'll help keep her kind of grounded. I will say I am curious to see what she turns out as far as looks go. Like, I've seen what she wears to the bars, you know, when she has time, but I'm really hoping she does well, because she is the one to beat in my mind. She can also turn a lip sync out, and that's only something I can comment on Ms. Cracker because I've seen her do it. I don't know what the other queen's lip syncing ability is, but hopefully she's not in the bottom, but if she is, you better watch out. From one New York queen to another, we have Monet Exchange. I loved her. First of all, I loved her look. That neon blue and orange was gorgeous. I couldn't stop looking at her. She was just beautiful to look at. She described herself as a kind of a silly and goofy queen, and kind of like what I said about Cameron, but even more so with Monet, like, I really believe that. Like, she does have a very natural, jovial energy about her, and I think she's gonna be fun to watch. If she doesn't win the season, maybe she just wanted to watch her congeniality. But I like her a lot, and you know, following Ms. Cracker, I say Monet Exchange is my very close second. Next up from Kansas City, we have Monique Hart. First, I find her really funny. She told the story about how her original name was Cut a Bitch Heart, and then they're like, no, I can't do that. She just had this really kind of like joking nature about herself. She talked about, you know, how when Beyonce walks in the room, she doesn't have to announce herself, and that's how she is too. And it might sound kind of like cocky, but she says it in a way that you're like, okay, like, that's actually like pretty humorous. I'm excited to see what she turns out. Kind of like Blair St. Clair, it's exciting to see a queen come from like not one of the big cities. So hopefully Monique goes pretty far. Next up, we have Vanessa Vanjie Mateo. She is Alexis Mateo from season 3's Drag Daughter. And other than that, that's really all I can say. I didn't like her. She said she came across as kind of a bitch. I think she came across as kind of a bitch. There wasn't anything really likable about her for me. Maybe I'm missing it, but if she went early, I really wouldn't be that bummed. As of right now, but we'll see what happens after the season premieres. Next up from Chicago is the Vixen. So the Vixen did talk about how there is a very strong lineage of queens from Chicago who have done very well on Drag Race, which is true. So she does have something to prove. This is another one. Didn't really like her. She commented on how she loved how Tyra Sanchez could win by being an unapologetic bitch. And what I'll say to that is, look how Tyra Sanchez is perceived now. She won the season, but a lot of people don't like her. So if that's your goal, I don't know if I'm really on board for that. I would say maybe if you want to be a bitchy queen who wins, kind of look at how Bianca Del Rio did it. She could be bitchy and she could be sassy, but she could also be kind and supportive at the same time, and really demonstrated what it means to do it at the right times and not just be rude for the sake of being rude. So I have to talk about her look. Because she talked about how she wants to do Chicago proud. She says that she's a pageant girl and that she's, you know, very much into all that. And then she wears a leopard bodysuit, no breastplates, nothing, like with literal boy body. And I'm just looking at it like, I'm just seeing a man in a wig. Maybe this is the season where Chicago falters a little bit, but I don't know, we'll have to see. So last but not least, our fifth New York queen is Yuhua Hamasaki. I will admit, I don't know her that well. But from her interview, I liked her. I think she seems to be very focused, and she does have a drive to win. She also seems to not take herself too seriously, so we'll see how she does. I think she could have that balance and go pretty far. Also, she's the only Asian queen on this season, so I do have a little bit of a soft spot in my heart to represent, you know, my Asian background. But we'll see what RuPaul turns out here. That does it. So, like I said, my number one choice is Ms. Cracker. I hope that she slays it this season because she's probably the first queen on RuPaul's Drag Race who I've seen an extended amount of times. I really know her performances from before she was on the show, but I also just really like her, and I think she really does have the makings to go all the way. So I'm hoping that she proves me right. So who are you rooting for this season? Comment down below with your favorite queens. Share some facts about some of the ones I didn't know about. Maybe I just saw the one snippet of them that was a bad light and they have all of this to show. So educate me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will try to be better about posting this year, so subscribe if you want to see more content from me. And we'll see if I can get some of my friends in these videos. I would love doing collaborations, and we'll make this a fun year. Enjoy the rest of your day, or night, or weekend, or whenever you're watching this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!